What is the good YouTube? Butterboy here, back again once again. This is like my third try doing this because I kept saying my brother's real name, but I don't think it would really matter. At least my younger brother. Um, so like, I'm gonna tell you guys a ghost story. This happened like 7 years ago. Um, and I was like 10. So, what happened, right, was my mom went to the casino, and I have two older brothers, and they were out hanging out with friends. One of them was gonna stay a night at his friends, while the other one he's gonna come back with my mom. So I had to watch my little brother JC, in his little like crib thing, whatever, right? And it was like when ones were like the toddlers, like they have like a lot of space. And so I had to watch him. I was in my mom's room. And, I was like a humongous multitasker. I was like watching TV. I was playing games. I was like on my Game Boy drawing. I was playing with toys. I was coloring. Everything. And like, the door was closed. I was in my mom's room. The door was closed. And like, why is it all non-centered? That's probably annoying, huh? And like, what happened was I heard, I think my brother was crying, right? And I was scared of the dark. I hated the dark. I didn't want to go in the dark because I had like night terrors and stuff. Um, and so like the JC, I thought it was crying for like 10 minutes, and it stopped. And so, I was under the covers and I didn't want to go out, but I felt guilty leaving my brother out there alone because he needed me, but I wasn't there. So, I I gathered the courage enough, and my mom didn't allow guns in the house because she had like bad experiences with them. And so she just doesn't like guns. She doesn't like killing with guns. So she has like melee weapons around, like bats and like batons and all that. So she had two metal bats and a baton in her house. And I grabbed all three of those, right? And I went to the door and I opened it. And it was dark in my house, in the living room and stuff. I was just too scared to like even walk out there, but I did. And so I walked out my mom's room, and on my left side there's a bathroom, and then in front of me you go up the stairs, and you go up a little more stairs on the, like, if you go to the right side when you're facing it, and that goes to me and my brother's room. And then if you go just straight right, you go to the living room. And so I was paranoid, and I look up and like I see something there, but I don't know if my eyes are tricking me. So I flick the switch, right, of the stairs to see what's up there, and I swear to God, I saw like some black, like a black foot just run upstairs, and you didn't hear anything. I just see something move upstairs, and I was freaking out a little, and like my anxiety just went bam, like skyrocketed, and I'm freaking out. So that happened. I was just convincing myself that it's my brother, or one of my brothers upstairs, even though they were gone. And I had the like everything like all together. I went bam, and I took a right and see if my brother was there, or like if he was there, okay. In the living room, my little brother JC, and like I'm sitting there, and like as I'm like looking, like in front of my brother's crib, there was like something black sitting there. I can see it like clear as day almost, because the living room was black, but the thing was like darker, like it was pitch black. You could definitely tell. And so like I flicked the switch, and I swear to God, I had like the black flash in my house or something, because I swear it looked at me real quick and it ran to the kitchen. And I'm freaking out because I just didn't believe what I saw, right? So I walked to my brother's crib, and like I looked at him, because whenever he like cried, he always had these big like red marks or whatever. Not red marks like that. He had marks that like showed that he was crying. He was sitting there for like a few minutes. Like he didn't have any marks. He was sound asleep. So I was scared, and I turned on the TV, and I lay down on the couch, and I laid my head down. And like as I'm laying my head down, our kitchen doesn't have a door or anything. I don't know why it would, but like it was just an open like doorway pretty much, and our kitchen, like you can see through the kitchen. And I laid down, I'm looking at the kitchen, and nothing was there. So started watching TV, right? And I took a glance in the kitchen, and there was this like you could tell, right there. You can definitely tell there was literally two things there, because I look in the kitchen and there's a really tall black figure and a really small figure, and they were just staring at me. You can know it was staring at you, and I was scared. I just didn't know what to do, so I just stared at them. And like I had the bats beside me, I just didn't want to reach because I didn't want to like run at me, and I was scared someone would crawl like under my bed, or like not on my bed, but like under the couch and like grab me or something. So I'm just like staring at the things. I don't know how long it was, but like I just didn't blink or nothing. I was just staring at these like figures there. They didn't move, no motion, no nothing. I just stared at them. And then I like hear the front door open because I knew my mom was home, because I heard the car come in, and I was staring at these figures, right? And I see the door open. I took a quick glance, like bam, and I'm like, and like they were gone. I was like, I was shaking kind of. I was like really scared, and I got up like, mom, I gotta tell you something. This thing's happening right now. And my brother, he was gonna get a ride from his friend, I guess. So like I told mom what happened, and she told me it was just my imagination or whatever. And she checked the house or whatever. There was nobody around at all, and the back door was locked too, and the windows were shut and all that. I'm like, okay, so it must have been imagination. So I went upstairs and I went, like tried to lay down. My brother came by and I told him what happened, and he's all like I'll like to tell him later or whatever. So like the morning came by and he's playing his Xbox. He was like a humongous Call of Duty player, and I was like, hey, so like I told him what happened last night because he was just too tired to listen to me. And he's like, oh, you must have seen the kid then, right? I'm like, what? There's what? What do you mean kid? And so he told me that a kid died in the house. And I didn't believe him because he had brown eyes, and everybody knows that people with brown eyes always bullshit somehow. So I was like, no, there's no way. And he's all like, go ask mom. So I went downstairs and I asked my mom that. It's like, hey, is it true that a kid died in this house? And my mom looked at me. She's like, I didn't want to tell you until you were older to understand, but I guess now. And she told me how, so two people died in my house. And one of them was like a 4-year-old or a 7-year-old or whatever kid, and he was in my room, me and my brother's room. Me and my brother had to share a room, not JC, but one of the older ones. And he was like flicking matches or whatever and throwing them in this trash can, and it was like opened, whatever, like those trash cans that are kind of like wired and they have the diamond metal things, whatever. That's what it was. And he was flicking matches and tossing them in there, watching them go down. And pretty soon the fire got like too big and the kid didn't know what to do, so he was locked in his room pretty much, and he set the house on fire and he died in the fire. And then there was another incident where this like young teenage adult, whatever, he was having like family problems, and like stuff was going bad for him. So in our laundry room, like in the kitchen, so you are in the living room, and as I'm like, when I was laying down, you can walk into the kitchen. And when you walk into the kitchen and you go to the sink, you take a left and you're in this laundry room. And in the laundry room, this young adult hung himself. And so he died, obviously. And so what happened after that was like, they are basically at the house. They live at the house. They're ghosts, pretty much. And so I didn't want to go to my room. I didn't want to live at my room or stay at my room anymore. Even though I didn't really did that, I kind of laid in the living room most of the time. Um, but like, yeah, that's one of the scariest things ever. Um, and then like a few like weeks, or not a few weeks, like maybe 2 weeks go by, and I went downstairs to talk to mom real quick, and I walked through like I was as I'm walking through the doorway of the like living room to the kitchen, like I felt something like holding my throat, like there was something stuck on my throat, and I was trying to talk to her or whatever, and I couldn't breathe. Like there was something stuck on my throat, and like something was coming up inside my stomach, and I burped, and it was like gone. And my mom's like, "Are you okay? Like what are you doing?" I'm like, "I was choking on air, I guess. I don't know. I basically told her I was choking on air." But she's all like, "You got like marks on your neck." It was like a like a weird like line, pretty much like a rope. You know how you wear like bracelets or whatever, and like they leave a mark there. That's basically what happened to my neck. It was just around my neck, and I felt like I was getting choked. Honestly, um, so like I think that the young adult tried to choke me for some reason. I don't know why me, because that's the only time. No, there's been 2 times I've been attacked. That's one of the first ones. Um, and that happened. Um, but yeah, that's end of the story, I guess. I have another ghost story of me, but my brothers also had experience with the ghost child, and so I'll let you guys know about that story. Um, I'm gonna try and record these videos today and let them out because I didn't post for like 2 days or whatever because my mom's been home and I've had like cross country practice. So yeah, that's been going on. Don't have an outro, so bye.